This is how I made this superpower effect in CapCut. Every shot you just saw was made on an iPhone in vacations in Italy. No green screen, no VFX budget, no crew. Just a phone, a tripod, and CapCut. Let me show you how the original footage looked like. Usually VFX like this takes a lot of experience, but if you stick with me, I'll show you 3 effects that did all of it. A speed ramp, motion blur, and a mask jump cut. I'm showing you every one of them from start to finish in CapCut. So stick till the end and you'll get smoke overlays and all sound effects I use in this video for free. I'm Rene and I test new editing tools and tricks so 90,000 of you don't have to. And I only recommend what really works. If that sounds useful, hit that like button and subscribe. Before we open CapCut, this effect is 80% filming and 20% of editing. If you get this part wrong, no app will save you. So let me show you how to get this part right. Rule number 1, the camera never moves. Tripod, a rock, your backpack, anything, just not your hands. A locked camera is what lets you cut yourself out of the shot and put yourself back in. Rule number 2, film the empty shot. Before you walk in, press record and film 5 seconds of nothing. Just the path, no people. Rule number 3, lock your exposure and focus. Tap and hold your screen until it's locked. If you skip this, the brightness jumps between clips and the whole illusion falls apart. That's it, now let's build. Drop your clips in. Walking up, drinking, the sprint, getting to the top, the jump, and the landing. Rough order first. I've already imported them and placed them on the timeline. Now find the exact frame where you start pulling the bottle away from your mouth. Split it there. Everything before that is you without any powers. Everything after is you with superpowers. Let's extend the timeline a little bit. If your clip is too long, just cut it at the right places. Then get rid of the parts you don't need. If the clips don't snap to the left, just click here. Now here's the part most people get wrong. My footage in the forest was cloudy and flat. Up in the mountain was bright and sunny. The obvious move is to try and make forest look sunny. Don't do that. You cannot add sunlight in the app. It always looks fake. So do the opposite. Make the before worse. The gap between the two is what the viewer feels. And it costs you nothing. Quick tip before we grade. When you add an adjust clip, don't add one to every single clip. Drag one adjust element across all the clips that share the same look and cut it exactly where the look changes. One object is easier to tweak later and your colors can never drift between the clips. On everything before the sip, temperature goes down to 10, saturation down to -15, contrast -5, shadows up to 5. That kills the black and makes it look dead. Now everything after the sip goes the other way around. So temperature goes to 5, saturation goes to 15, contrast to 5, and shadow down to -5. One thing to watch though, don't overdo the drain look. If your skin goes gray, it stops reading as a choice and it starts reading as a broken footage. Your face is a test, so let's keep it alive with this toggle here. Now let's cut the clip right where I make a gesture with my hands, as if I got a superpower. Cut the adjust clip at the same point and delete both. Now the twitch. Go to Media, Library, and drag down the white clip. Go to the beginning, click keyframe on opacity, and drag it all the way down. Move 2 frames, go to 45%, move 2 more frames, and go all the way to 100%. Now move 4 frames and drag the slider all the way back down. Now we have this flash effect, and then the world wakes up. That's color used as a story, not as a filter. Remember that. One more effect I'd like to add. Somewhere around here, go to Effects, Body Effects, and search for Optical Scan. Drag it down and set it to size 50 and range 90. Twist 70, we will leave color at 0 and speed up to 65. Then go a little further and duplicate it. Let's see. Actually, we can drag the first one a little more to the left. Yeah, that's perfect. Highlight both and delete the extra parts on the right. Now the speed. I have 2 locations. One where I start running uphill and another where I run past the camera. Select the first clip, speed, curve, custom. Don't use the presets, build it yourself instead. Grab the first point and drag it up to around 8x speed. Add one more point and drag it down close to the second one on the right. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. Now, if we go back to speed, you'll see that the graph dropping down near the end. We don't want that. We need the speed effect throughout the whole clip, so we drag all the points up to 8x speed. Now let's add one more effect that pushes superpowers even further. Search for glowing double and drag it down exactly where you start sprinting. Cool. We can cut it here and do the same with the white clip. Let's repeat the speed setup for the next location clip. Highlight the clip, switch to standard, and just drag the speed up to 8x. Then add the same glowing double effect as before. Now the last clip where we need to play around with the speed. Here we start fast at 8x and slow down as we get close to the top. Something like this. Because the clip is too long, we'll cut it in two places and delete the part we don't need. Now go to the point where you take off the moment your feet leave the ground and cut it there. Then move one frame forward and create a freeze frame which we'll use for the flying effect. Pull the freeze frame up, then go to the last part of the clip, clean plate with no person on it. Cut it and drag it underneath the freeze clip. We also need to drag the freeze clip under the color adjustment clip so the colors match. For this freeze clip, we also need to remove the background. Remember, we placed the clean plate underneath it. If we hadn't, we would just be left with a black background. After that, go to Basic and click Keyframe on Transform. Move 5 frames, shrink the person down until they are quite tiny, and drag them up and out of the screen. Move another 17 frames and cut the clip, and the clip below it too. We also don't need this part where I'm walking away anymore. Go to the freeze clip, right click the second keyframe, show all presets and choose cubic out. That way we will start fast and slow down gradually, which is ideal for the jump effect. Then we go back to the previous clip, and on this one we'll make the last part faster so it blends into the takeoff jump. Don't forget to align this freeze clip. And now the last shot, the landing. Here I noticed I already import a cut clip instead of the original, which is a mistake, because at the start we need the clean shot. So I'll grab the original from my media, drop it in, and delete the one I had. Go to the beginning of the clip and cut the clean part right before I step into the frame. Then go to exact point where I land, feet just touching the ground, make a freeze frame there and delete the part we don't need. Drag the freeze frame to the beginning and go to the point where you land from the jump. We can see it because our freeze frame is in the way, so let me move it aside. Here's the right moment. Cut it by pressing Q to delete the part on the left. Then move the freeze frame back to the beginning and go to Remove Background. With Custom Removal, check if there's anything else to remove, like this van and car for example. Choose the eraser and draw over them so it's just me left. Hit Apply. Move 4 frames forward and drag the frame to this position. Go to Basic, click Keyframe on Transform and shrink the person down to around 28%. Drag it out of the screen and then move another 10 frames forward, drag the person down, resize it to 100%, center it and delete the part on the right. Also delete the right part of the lower clip so they are aligned. Then right-click this last keyframe on the freeze frame, show all presets and choose Quad In Graph. Now for this landing we need a shake effect. Drag it down, adjust the settings and make it 10 frames long. To make the effect even better, we also need some smoke at the landing. So I'll import a smoke overlay from my computer. Drag it down And because it has a black background, go to Blend and choose Screen. Now all we have to do is reposition the smoke, drag the opacity down a little bit, and cut the part we don't need. In the meantime, I got an idea to add one more effect. If we go back to our jump off the mountain, right when we start going down, go to Effects, Body Effects, and search for Electro Border. Choose the second one here. Just copy my settings. Here we go. I think we got this cool charging effect just before our takeoff. Now, before we move to our last step, shrink the timeline a bit, highlight all the main clips and create a compound clip. Then go to Basic, scroll all the way down and add motion blur for extra effect. Wait for the process to end and then export the whole project. Last part, and this one is really important. Everything we just built looks good, but the sound is what makes it feel completely different. But if you don't want to go hunting all of this yourself, you can download the exact sound effects and overlays I used in this video. This is the free stuff I promised you at the beginning. The link is in the description. Import the project you just exported. Now, as you can see, I already placed all the sound effects into the project. I'm not going to show you every single one of them, just enough to give you an idea. You'll find all the sound effects inside CapCut. Go to Audio, then Sound Effects. At the beginning, we need footsteps and forest sounds. Search something like footsteps gravel. Pick the one that fits and drop it in. Cut it and line it up with the movement on the screen. If it doesn't match, speed it up or slow it down in the speed section. Next, look for something ambient, like forest. Same thing, pick the one you like. For the superpower effects, I used camera flash, whooshes, wind, a thunder strike, that kind of thing. And now the best trick in this entire video. I already compounded the video and all the sound effects here, so cut out the part just 10 frames before he lands. We'll silence this part, but first listen to the original with the sound. And now with this part silent. Same picture, same effect, it just got twice as big. And it cost you nothing. Silence before the impact. This is not a CapCut trick, this is a film trick. Use it on everything. Speed ramp, motion blur, color as a story, a mask jump cut, and a sound. All of it from phone footage. The kind you already have on your camera roll. Yeah. Now go and make one yourself. Then drop it in the comments. I want to see what you do with this. If you are new here, subscribe so you don't miss the next effect like this, and see you in the next one.